Now, hello everybody. Hi guys, welcome to our channels. And I'm joined today by my good friend over in the States, Bryan Jones, and we're going to chat about things spiritually sort of stuff and things, techniques that we use outside of what we tend to talk about on our channels to find balance, to find relaxation, to bring that balance to our day. So how are you doing, Bryan? How are you feeling? Are you okay?
I'm doing great. I've been excited to do this.
Good. It's nice to see you again.
It's great seeing you, buddy.
I can't remember when we last, it's a while back since we last did one of these.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I mean, it's been months, I think.
It has been a while.
So
We've had a lot going on. I mean, I know you've had a lot going on. I've been super,
yeah,
super busy with clients and things. So yeah,
yep,
it's nice just to get back to basics and have a bit of a chat.
sure is.
So you'd mentioned that you wanted to, because you were watching one of my videos about being spiritual and what it means. So you want to talk a little bit about that, your views and what have you. And
So
then we'll talk about some other bits. So yeah, what did you want to cover today then with that? Right.
so first of all, that video was excellent that you put up, and I had just happened to be I saw it actually come up on my feed last night, and I just didn't. I was tired, so I waited till today to watch it, and I made a couple notes here on things that you touched on, some key points that um, I definitely agree with you
Yeah,
with. And
that's
like
good.
I said before, I've told you before, um, I'm fairly new to this spiritual journey and the spiritual healing process.
Yeah,
It's only a couple of years old, so so this is still really new, and I'm still learning a lot.
mm,
Um, First and foremost, I think you said openness. You talked about openness, and I believe that openness is a key factor in what it means to be spiritual and what spirituality actually is.
mm,
Um, and it's openness to like just about anything, as deep as you can as the mind can go, deep feeling.
yeah,
Um, I made a note here. You're open to anything and everything, even though we can't see it, but we can feel it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So I'll say that again. So we're open to anything and everything out there for the most part, even though we can't see it, but we can feel the presence.
Hmm.
And that's where I think some people have blockages is if you are unable to feel deeply, preferably, but even feel at all, then it's hard for you to be open enough to be spiritual.
Mm,
And the other key point that you made that I have highlighted here is awareness.
yeah,
You know, that goes on to self-awareness, awareness in general, awareness of your surroundings, awareness of what's going on around the world
yeah,
and why it may be going on, and the deeper meaning of things, and to be okay and open to getting into them and
yeah,
talking about them, kind of like what we're doing right now.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and I think a huge part of spirituality is some type of healing. If everyone's got healing to do at some point in their life, and
Yeah,
it doesn't necessarily mean that it's trauma healing, but just healing. They might want to be
yeah,
better, you know, if they're religious, they might want to be better Christians or you know, what better Buddhists. I
yeah.
don't know,
Or just
but
better people in general,
or just or exactly what you just or just better people in general.
yeah,
And that's kind of where I come in. I'm on my own healing journey, but I want to be a better person.
mm,
And that my spirituality now, my spiritual openness, we'll call it, an awakening, because it was,
mm,
has now made me who I am today, which is a better person. And in the future is going to do it even more so, I'm sure.
yeah,
So I'm excited for that. And You know, and I think you touched on this a little bit, but it's a belief in some type of higher power. It's a belief in a creator, I think. And in my case, and I'm sure in your case, God.
Yeah.
Others may disagree with that, and the fact of the matter is that's okay.
Mm.
That 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 doesn't offend me at all. To each their own. It's
Yeah,
within
absolutely.
spirituality, to each their own.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a right to believe what they want to believe.
Yeah.
And um, I believe, at least for me, in my experiences so far, when it comes to spirituality, it gives me hope.
Mm.
It really keeps hope alive, even when the going gets tough and when life tries to smack me back down and, you know, beat me into the ground over and over again. I look to my spirituality at this
Mm.
point, and
Yeah.
it's always there for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It
And
never goes away. And you also know that whatever is happening for it's happening for a reason,
yeah,
whether it's a healing element or whether it's something that you need to learn within yourself because it's a repeating pattern. It could be something from your pain body, it could be something that your ego is trying to hide. But again, having that openness and that awareness is the key, because if you're not aware and you're not self-aware and you're not aware of anything around you, which is a lot of the global population is very much like that, but a lot of people are starting to tune into this deeper sense of some element of knowing or awareness about themselves and about the world around them, and the world around them that they can't actually see, this feeling, this energy that you touched on before. But having that awareness and just that knowing that there is something within life that needs to either change, or you need to be able to, or whoever it is, that person, me, you, whoever, needs to find another way of accessing that part of ourselves to navigate around this obstacle, because the obstacle itself is also the learning curve. It's creating the path that you need to take to go around it, to be able to see all aspects of what it is. And once you see all aspects of it through full awareness, then you think, right, bingo, now I know why that's been put in my place through
mm,
divine intervention, or whatever, your synchronicity, whatever you want to call it. It's created um, that block in our path to learn something about ourselves, and through the awareness, we come to understand that and know it.
yeah. Um, Regarding what you just said, I was one of those people that you were talking about at first. I
Mm.
was one of those people that well, how did you word it? You worded it perfectly. That aren't open, that don't have that awareness. The
Yeah,
people that,
yeah.
you know, those type of people. I was absolutely one of them. And you know, now I'm so grateful and so just downright happy that I'm not that anymore. And that's what
Mm.
am talking about when I say I'm already a better person because of it.
Yeah,
And I will be even more so going forward.
yeah.
And a big thing that I wrote down as you were speaking is faith.
Mm.
Um, you know, faith. I'm pretty sure the definition of what faith is believing in something that's not, you can't see it. It's not there.
Mm. Yeah.
And spirituality is, there's a lot. You know, faith is in religion as well, but it's also in spirituality and having faith in a higher being and
Mm.
something that's bigger than all of us.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, that's pretty cool.
Mm. Oh, it is. It's amazing. It's astounding when you when you think about it, and you sit and you cogitate over it, and you analyze it, and you meditate with it, and you tune into as much as you can of it, and you receive the information that you need to receive. from whatever beings you feel are around you guiding you, whether you call them spirit guides, whether you just call them people in spirit, whether you call it just the universe or source energy or God or whatever your definition is,
Angels.
um, angels, then just having that faith and that belief and that knowing that there is so much more to just the eat, sleep, repeat. And
Right, right.
it's a much bigger, grander thing. Although the world likes to try and put us in that box. But when you go onto a spiritual path, you step out of that box and you see all corners of the box, you see all sides of the box, and you see outside of the box. And it's a whole new level of perspective and awareness that you bring
It
into
is.
life, which then changes you to become the better person, the more in tune person, the more aware person, the more aware of everyone around them. And some
Hmm.
people don't like that. And this is, I talk about this quite a bit in my videos, because as your awareness and your energy, or what you might call your vibration, changes, um, a lot of people can feel that unknowingly, and they think, oh well, I'm not sure what I think about them anymore, and they tend to kind of like move away because they don't resonate with where you are anymore. And that's
That's
not
okay.
bad. It's not a bad thing. It's just part of the process, and it's also part of their learning journey and their awakening journey, as well as your own as well, and being accepting to it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, um, I know exactly what you mean when you're saying that, because I've had people in my life that look at me differently because of the things that I would say out loud, but I openly say the stuff out loud because I really believe it.
Mm,
I'm um, it's a complete 180 than how I used to be.
yeah.
And I think I was ashamed of that at first, but not anymore. Now I'm just so grateful that I am the way that I am, and that I believe in. I mean, I didn't, like I told you before, I didn't even believe in God before. So
Mm,
that is polar opposite compared to how I am now. And that's just pretty cool. But there was a couple other things that you had said. Oh, this is one of my notes. You lead with light. I'm sorry, you lead with love and light. And that's all you begin to know is love and light, lifting others up, not knocking them down. I've always been that way.
mm,
That, you know, minus some things in high school and stuff like that, obviously trying to act cool and fit in with the crowd. But, I've learned those lessons a long time ago.
yeah.
The best thing to do is to lift others up and help them along their and support them along on their journeys. No matter if they're your best friend, your family member, or even maybe one of your foes that you have in life. You don't want to knock people down. And we have to lead with love. I think that there's so of my own channel, I've built my channel on what I call the 3 C's. And two of those C's are compassion and connection. And and then the other one's creativity. I think these are all things that are missing out there nowadays.
Mm,
And self-compassion in particular. If we can't have compassion for ourselves, how are we supposed to have it for others? If we can't love ourselves, how are we supposed to love somebody else the
yeah.
right way, the healthy way? And what love actually, unconditional love, is also important to point out. And I think that's why everything was created. I think that's why we were created. And because at one point, I think the world did have all of that, a lot more of it, should I say, because it's important to point out that there still is all of this out there. There are some amazing people out there. And you would probably find out that those people are spiritual in some sense, my guess would be. I mean,
Mm.
that's a big assumption to make, but from what I've seen in my experiences, I've noticed that. And um, you know, people healing. When you know, healing's hard. If you're and when I say healing, I mean like inner work healing,
Mm.
not just showing up to therapy and whatever, just talking whatever your therapist ear off. I'm talking about actually doing the inner work, and really healing to be a better person, to be able to lead with love and light, like I would like to, and like I have started to, and I'm sure that you do. Um, Spirituality is something that you can come and go as you please. There is no open or there's no closed or open door. It's just there is no door. It's not off the hinges. It's not there. It doesn't exist
Yeah.
because spirituality, I believe, is bigger than all of that. It's bigger than all of us.
Well, it's constant, isn't it? It's a constant
It
thing,
is.
and like you say, you can leave it and you can step back into it and connect with it whenever you want, whenever you feel the need to. And that's where a lot of things do have a crossover. That's where, you know, religion and beliefs and where they do have a crossover, because it's always there and it's always to step back to. The difference that I feel between being spiritual and being religious is you're not constrained by someone else's set of beliefs. You have your own belief, but you're also open to everybody else's beliefs, and they are also open to everybody else's belief as well, and on it goes, and it's just an open vessel of unity, of connection, and of love, that we can all find within each and every one of us on some level. You know, that is the ultimate vibrational way of being, is just to connect on that level of love. And as much as life and the world likes to test us, if we can find that within every single moment, we've got it made.
Right.
But yeah, we get challenged, but you know, if everything was easy, there'd be nothing to learn. And that's the other part about being here, is it's a lesson. We need to learn the various things to develop ourselves, not just in a physical sense, but also on a soul journey, on an individual soul journey. We
Mm.
have to develop and we have to heal our souls, as we move through this ascension and an energetic process that we're working through.
Do you? I would agree with 1,000% with what you just said, and touching more on that, would you believe that like starting to heal your soul has to do with? I know it goes deeper than this, but at a very start, meant like healing yourself mentally and emotionally, especially, I think is so important. I think emotionally more than a lot because feeling is so important,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you know, um,
I mean, if you can heal the physical aspect, because we have to also know that we are just spirit in a form. You know, this is just a short span of time that we're here to live this physical earthly life and whatever we need to learn.
right,
But if you
right,
can come into tune and find that healing and do the healing and do the inner work, to bring alignment and unity to the mind, body, and spirit, you become more deeply connected to your soul and to yourself, of what resonates and what feels right for you.
interesting,
So much so that you then start to resonate with the other people, that, you know, if you're going through the healing and you've done a lot of healing, you can then start helping others on their
right,
healing journey or their awakening journey, because you're more in tune and you're more aligned with your own soul, your own journey, your own energy. And then you become more in tune with other people's energy that might need a little bit of assistance, or they might be aware of your light, your shining, your vibration, and may just feel drawn to you to speak to you, because they don't know why, but there's something within you and there's something in their energy and in your energy where you just feel this instant connection, that they just need to come and speak to you, and on some level you'll be able to give them unknowingly energetic healing just through that interaction of one-to-one connection.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I believe I believe me personally, I think I'm getting closer and closer to that, to being, being, having that be my regular everyday life.
Mm.
Um, it's funny that you said that about energy and stuff, because I've actually gotten comments on Instagram saying, about my energy or something. Like they would say like, oh, like, really good energy. I'm like, and at first I really didn't understand what that meant.
Mm.
Like I said, I'm still new to the whole spirituality
Thing.
idea, concept, I guess we'll call it. But I get it now.
Mm.
I get it now because I've done a lot of deep healing, and with more to come, and I'm sure you have as well.
Mm.
And it's just like I said, it's that love, that light, and hope that it'll be a better world, that things will, I guess, change, because I feel like they're headed in the wrong direction. Now, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm a little worried and scared about the future of our planet and us.
Mm.
And to touch on, I forgot to write it down as you were talking, but now I remembered, a big part of, I guess, my spirituality and my spirituality journey is being in touch with the, like, what our world around me, our planet, our environment, you know, plants, animals, nature,
Mm.
and not only being in touch with it, but looking for ways that I can help, that I can do something, because I think we all can do something, you know. Um, and it's little things that might sound like, it's kind of funny. I kind of laugh, but you know, I'm careful about how much water I use.
Mm.
Be, not that we have a shortage around here, because we don't,
Yeah.
but I'm mindful that water one day could be scarce. It
Mm.
it's a it water is life. If without water, I was just in the shower and I'm like, man, if we didn't have water, I wouldn't be able to like wash myself right now. We wouldn't
Mm.
be able to cook a lot of meals, cook a lot of foods that we have, or make a lot of drinks that we have. Um, you know, wouldn't be able to grow. Agriculture would cease to exist. Um, Not to mention all the animals that are impacted from that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it does. It affects everything.
Everything.
Light
It's
and water is the keys to all life.
it's
Um,
already happening. It's already happening. I mean, in this country over out west, like California, Arizona, Colorado, all those states that are there, water was scarce, and now, well, now they just got pummeled with all these storms. Um, climate change isn't real, but that's all. Climate change is already happening. That's reality, and all like I don't think enough of us talk about all of that kind of stuff,
mm.
and that's kind of where it all begins, at least at first, in trying to lend a hand, trying
Mm.
to do whatever it takes to take care of our planet that we all live on. This is our home,
Mm.
and we're trashing it.
Yeah.
I'm now mindful of that fully, because of my spirituality, because I am dialed in and connected.
Mm.
And I'm embarrassed almost, because I'm sure God's looking down being like, what are they doing?
Mm.
What are they doing to what I've given them all? And how dare us, type thing. And that's just a little side part of my spirituality that now I'm dialed into. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually considering getting into something work wise, or even volunteer wise,
Mm.
to help this planet. And I think we need to clean up our oceans a lot more. I think because 70% of our planet is ocean, and it's getting polluted, and there's trash everywhere.
Yeah,
And
well, the way it's working, the way it's going. I mean, people talk about this and they talk about this stuff and they put all this stuff out about about the planet and about pollution and about all this stuff that's
mhm,
happening to the planet and the stuff that we've done to the planet, which on some level I do agree with, but there's also the element of it as well that is put out there is also, I feel, designed for it to take us out of spiritual awareness. It's to take us away from our inner knowing and our inner feeling, because it gives an element of um, almost, well, I suppose it's like an element of fear that it can give to people, and that is something that can really whip people out of being in the now and being fully aware. If you're fully aware and you can see everything that's going on, then like you say, then you can start doing bits to help, to
right.
assist. But there are a lot of people out there as well that are pushing it to the extreme, that is putting people on the back foot on the vibrations of fear and creating all this other stuff to go on as well. And again, that's about bringing, once we're coming back into our awareness and stepping away from the fear and what other people can create, then having the mindset of the world we do want to create and the world that we want to live in,
Right.
that vibration within ourselves and what we want to achieve and how we want to see and how we want to be, will bring that in, and we'll bring that energy in. And it's about, and again, it's about having the this awareness and this knowing, because we're all connected, because we're all one. This transcends and this moves to everybody else, and everybody starts to feed off this. So if everybody's in a state of fear, then that brings the whole collective, the whole system crashing down, because everyone's just like so petrified of everything and taken totally out of their awareness, their now.
When you say fear, when you say that, uh, so what are you referring to? Like afraid of what? Fear of what?
Fear of what people would deem as, say, like the end of the world or the end of life,
Oh,
or all that sort of stuff, that the people do talk about and say, oh, it's the end of the world, or the end is nigh. But what is actually happening, from my understanding, from my perspective, it's this chaos has to happen, and it is a breakdown of all the structures that are going on around the world, and it's a change of awareness, because of this awakening, because of the awakening that so many people are going through around the planet. And one by one, as this awakening happens and people become more aware to what is happening around the world, it has an energetic effect, because after all, everything is energy. It has an energetic effect on the current structure and system that we have over the planet now. And it's about, and then we're breaking away from that. So we're going through this, where people talk about the 3D, the 4D, the 5D. We're going through this transition of energy shifts, where we're becoming more conscious, and we're operating on the vibration of love and awareness.
definitely. I mean, I wouldn't say that I have fear. I would say I'm concerned. And I think where that concern comes from is scientists,
Mm,
the professionals that are actually out there every single day, kind of pretty much putting their lives on the line. And a lot of this research and a lot of this discoveries, they're still making actual discoveries on the continent of Antarctica.
mm,
And I think we can learn a lot about this planet, and that's why they're all there. And you got to understand that that's a very harsh environment to live there,
mm,
and some of them live there, year round.
yeah.
And and um they're trying to find things out. They're trying to get the answers, and they have found some answers, and some of those answers, unfortunately, cause fear and concern,
Mm,
and they should, because um fear is an emotion that, of course, we don't want to feel fear, but fear is there for certain reasons. And if that is, if fear comes up from people, you know, maybe they're actually going to do something. Maybe something will finally be done as a whole, so that we can. I'm not saying that to the end of the world. That's a bit. I think that's a bit dramatic. I don't think we're anywhere near that.
Mm.
But at least starting to make some steps to start to clean everything all up, and to clean up and basically fix our mistakes that we've made,
Mm.
because we're all humans. We make mistakes, we have failures. It's a part of our lives. We don't like it, most of us, but it's a part of our lives, and we've made a lot of mistakes up until this point. And the thing is if we take action now, I believe, then those mistakes and those failures that we've all done as a whole, maybe they could be changed and reversed. Maybe things aren't, it's not too late. Maybe if we can all come together, and something can be done. And that's just my hope. And, you know, I listen to the scientists. I don't get my information from anywhere else. All I trust is the professionals, because
Yeah.
they dedicate their lives to that. And um you know, there's a spiritual element to that. And just, you know, actually, that's kind of a great transition. I was kind of thinking of this. So where I experience nature and our environment is when I am meditating, and when I am practicing my mindfulness, I'll call it.
Mm.
And I get that from being out in nature. I get
Yeah.
that from, you know, going to a park. I have a beautiful park not too far from me, and I just recently discovered. I hiked way further into the through the trail and everything. It's a huge park, and I found this like divide in the water. It's like a creek. It's
Mm.
a creek, and it dumps into a river though that's not far away. And I had to hike through, like, you know, sticker bushes, which I don't think anyone likes sticker bushes, and I was getting whacked in the face, but I knew it was going to be worth it. I could feel it, because I've
Mm.
never been that far in before. And when I finally got through all the brush and all the trees and everything, it just opened way up, and it was this splitting of creeks, like at least 4 times I saw splits, and they're all little mini waterfalls, and
Wow.
there's rocks everywhere in it. I call it rock heaven.
Mm.
It's rock heaven, because
Mm.
it's a stone balancer's
I'm gonna say
uh
it'd be a stone balancer's
it's
dream.
a stone balancer's dream. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And recently I've been getting into creating and posting nature type videos. And what I mean by that is life moves fast. I feel like everything, sometimes you just want things to slow down around you, and you want to be able to take in the moment and be present fully and really be mindful of what's going on. And it's in those moments that I am that way that I start to record.
Mm.
And I do it in a way like these are all like real places that I'm going, and I'm going to capture video of. I think a lot of us forget that, you know, when it's raining outside, those parks, those waterways get flooded out, and they, you know, water's flowing through at a rapid rate. But at any point in our lives, that water is flowing right now as we're speaking. It's
Mm.
slowly falling off the waterfall, going down. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can even smell it.
Mm.
And I like to capture all of that.
Mm.
And that's my way of fully taking in the moment. And I can relive that moment at any time that I want by simply watching that video if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I I subscribe and follow other channels that do that same type of thing.
Mm.
And I also use that for, anxiety, stress, sleep,
Yeah.
and healing,
Yeah.
meditation. And and of course, so for those that aren't aware, on my channel and on my Instagram, I post a lot about the balancing stones thing, and I do a lot of balancing, and I post a video afterwards. But it it's that element of nature, spirituality, balancing, the meditation part, the whole package
Mm.
that has been extremely beneficial to me and
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, the other part of our conversation today is all towards, you know, um, how did you word it exactly? It was
Well,
like
it's
about
like how like
mindfulness.
the different things that we use outside of, because obviously on our channels we talk about you talk about balancing stones and how it
Right,
affects you and how you've integrated that into your life to bring you into a
right, right.
mindful place. I use meditation or Reiki or various tools that I work with my
Is that
practice.
is
But
that how you meditate? Like how I'm curious because I mean I know the Reiki, but what else do you use?
so sometimes I'll use maybe sound, or I'll use crystals, or I'll just use my breath and I'll just go with my breathing and just follow my
Okay,
breath and go into a meditation that way. But so I thought it would be interesting to talk about some of the things that we actually use for ourselves, to help us find that place again, but not what we normally talk about on our channel. So you
right.
mentioned before we came on, you spoke about music and how music takes you into
Yeah,
a place. I can fully relate to that. Music or
right.
playing guitar, playing music, brings you into that mindful place, and ways of using think like creativity, like art, music, anything
Hmm.
like that will bring you as well in, which is what I like to use, will bring you into that space, bring you into that place of being. So some of the thing, what else do you do outside of balancing stones to bring you into that awareness that other than obviously meditation, but what other things do you use?
I would say nature, being out in nature in general, allows me to meditate and to really be in the moment. And that's that's pretty much it. I
Have you
mean,
ever tried
the
mindful
reality is I
walking?
don't need much in order. Once I find something like that,
Mhm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll find other ways as time goes on, but I'm someone, I must point this out, that uh, before balancing stones, I wasn't able to meditate. I didn't really know what meditation actually even was,
Mm.
or mindfulness or anything. I didn't have that in my life, and it was missing big time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm 100% all about finding new ways in order to do that
Mm.
and to make that work for myself, because it's so important, and it'll never not be part of my life anymore.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, I mean, if you have any ideas, I'd be perfectly open to hearing whatever. And I'll try anything at least
Mm.
once and see if it works. Because I'll be honest, I didn't think balancing stones would work.
Mm. Yeah.
I had no idea. I just was trying it because I had seen a video online, and then that's what I did. And but then I realized afterwards, I'm like, whoa, this has a lot more potential to be a lot more than just be, oh, I'm just balancing rocks around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's,
and
it's
and, and
funny how.
also that gets me out in nature a lot. If I didn't discover balancing stones, I wouldn't probably even be going to the park to be out in nature and taking all of that in around me.
Mm.
Actually, when I went to the park the last time after I found all these little waterfalls, I actually only balanced a little tiny bit for about 10 minutes. I
Yeah.
got one small balance. I took in the moment. I sat down, I was sitting on a rock, and I was just sitting back and relaxing. I don't, that's not normal for me. That's not,
Mm.
but it is the new norm for me now.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. I'm now open and aware of it, that it helps tremendously.
Yeah.
And um, I'm open to whatever.
Mm.
I've noticed on your channel that you've been posting a lot of more videos, either a short or a longer video on being in nature, like park videos, birds chirping,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that. So you're taking all of it in too. So you know
Mm.
exactly what I'm talking about
Yeah.
when I say that I'm really taking that moment in and I want to capture it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important, and nature is probably one of the best things you can do to
Mm,
find that healing element,
agreed.
that you need to take in. But I just mentioned before, and I do it, but I'm not actually consciously aware of it. I'm not always looking for things or the sensations, but mindful walking, I don't know if you've ever tried it, but mindful walking is an amazing way to connect to everything. Like one thing at a time, you start to bring it into your awareness. Then as you're walking, you just become so aware and so open and aware of just everything that is going on around you. So like you say, the videos, the sounds of the birds or the rustling leaves in the trees,
Right,
the wind blowing across the grass, your feet and your contact of your feet on the ground as you walk, your
right.
breath as you move, the swinging of your arms, and just having total awareness and presence of everything that is going on around you with every single step and every single breath. It really has a profound, powerful effect on bringing you into that moment. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, so I do, where I go in particular, like I say, it's a gigantic park. And there's a lot of hiking involved, so a lot of
Mm,
walking for me. And although I am paying attention to my footing because there's a lot of mud back there and huge rocks that you really have to be careful on because
mm,
you fall, it's game over.
mm,
Um, but when I'm not paying attention to my feet, I am looking up and taking everything in, and it is a meditation. It
mm.
is mindfulness for me at
Yeah,
least.
it just
And
becomes that.
right, right. And um I'm just hoping I don't run into a snake. I mean, listen, I love animals, everything, but I don't like snakes. Like and there's snakes all around this park because
Yeah.
they live they burrow in rocks and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always a little fearful of running into a snake, but at the same time, taking everything all in and doing some really, I mean, miles, I'd say miles of hiking the other day I did.
Mm,
And I can tell that it was not only a good workout, exercise is another one for me. I was thinking about, when I'm on my stationary bike and going for, 45 minutes straight, I'm in a zone. Now,
yeah.
granted, I have my headphones on, I have music on, but I'm in a zone.
Mm,
And um that is meditative in a
mm,
sense. I
yeah.
kind of just realized that you know um yeah, I mean, that is meditation now that I think about it.
Mm. Suppose I mean anything like that you're putting your full awareness and your full connection to mind, body, and spirit of what you want to achieve out of it. That is, that is a form of meditation because you're going deep into your presence and your deep awareness of who you are, and what you want to achieve and what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. What are your thoughts on what meditation actually is? um I believe it does have to do with focus, concentration,
Mm. I
definitely.
mean, for me, it's got a multitude of things about it. Healing obviously is one of them. Focus, awareness,
Right.
and just more.
connected.
It's more like an expanse of your energy as well through the meditation, because you can become so aware of the various things and sensations that are going on around your body, or you can send your awareness out of your body to fill the expanse of a room, and just send your breath out, send your awareness out, and fill a space or move a space, visualize something in your mind's eye of something that was a place that you want to be, a place that you want to just enjoy. You know, if you can't get outdoors and you can't get to that waterfall, just visualize that waterfall, and hear in your mind the sound of the waterfall, and just be there in that moment within your mind, and you can just be there and create that within your mind, and just be there.
Yeah, I mean, there's another thing that you had said in that video that made me think. So I believe that a way for you to, like, a way for me at least to know that I was experiencing meditation was that I was able to look, and this is probably different for everybody, mind you. I just need to make note of that. But for me, it's an ability to be able to really look deeply within
Mm,
myself, and that's the awareness. So
yeah.
really being able to look deeply into yourself, and what's going on, what's your next step, what are your goals, what are you trying to achieve, whatever have you, whatever is going on at that particular time.
Hmm.
Because I know for me, it hasn't always been easy to do that. You know, it hasn't always been easy for me to be dialed into and knowing what I'm feeling, and not only that, but like what is my next step here?
Mm,
What is the next goal that I'd like to achieve? What is priority? Self-discipline as well, self-control, and not giving into certain temptations that are out there in life, because there are so many of
mm,
them. And so it's like you pick your poison. Well, I don't, I would not, I would prefer not doing that kind of stuff anymore.
yeah.
And, meditation is a way for me to also dial into my emotions and my feelings and how I feel about certain things and certain situations, even certain people.
Mm,
And it also helps my ability to make decisions,
yeah.
some tough decisions that I struggle with on a regular basis. But after meditating on it, or meditating on it for a few days, it's more than just thinking about it.
Mm,
It's really like fully taking everything in and
yeah, it's
being
been like,
aware, and how this decision that I make may affect others or not affect others, or
mm,
affect me and family members, or a job, or a potential promotion, or whatever have you in life. I think that meditation, in my opinion, can be used for anything and everything in life.
yeah, like I
And
say,
that goes,
there's a multitude of advantages to meditation. It's never ending, and it will have different effects for everybody. And not everybody can meditate, and it's not easy, but it's not meant to be easy as well. It's meant to be something that you eventually find, and it's a bit like you with your balancing stones. It's the fact that you found that out of nowhere from watching a video, and then you thought, oh, I'm going to give that a go, and you found the benefit from that, and that element of that meditative mindful practice that's within that brings you into that awareness, and the awareness is is everything, because like you say, it gives you that clarity, it gives you full true, you're fully present with everything, and you can see the ways in and the ways out of whatever the situation may be that you need to try and work out, I suppose. And it might not come straight away, it might take a few days, it
Right.
might never
Or even a
come, it
week or
might never
so.
come at all, because it might be something that is something internally that needs to be healed, because there's an
Right.
element of a block within there as well.
Right. Right. It's
Mm.
almost like I think about like a lens, like even like a glasses lens or like a microscope lens that's blurry at first, and then when
Mm.
you for a microscope, how you like turn the dials, and then all of a
Yeah, yeah.
sudden,
Bring the
whoa, that
focus.
thing just comes into focus, or what have you, or if you wear glasses or contacts, when you have your glasses or contacts, not in or and off, everything's blurry. But then when you put them in and on, it, everything clears up. Well, it's
Mm.
almost like that, where clarity, it makes it more in focus,
Yeah.
and you can see things a little bit more clearly, and yeah, I mean, it's just that's still a new feeling to me. I'll be honest with you, but I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world.
Mm.
It's it's been a huge part of my spiritual journey so far.
Yeah.
It really has. And then also, like you said, with the balancing, so not like, that also brings me joy as well. So and that's a hobby for me. So
Mm.
I'm there. There's all the boxes are being checked off with
Mm.
that one thing,
Yeah.
and that's remarkable. But aside from that, that's what gets me into the nature. That's what just has made me a better person. And the truth of the matter is I have my certain things. Oh, meditative. I just thought of another one. I'll do like a little fire, safely, obviously,
Mm.
but I'm not near like trees and stuff like that, so it's safe. Um, and do a little fire and just sit by the fire and just hang out
Mm.
and watch.
I'm gonna
You
say, do you
know,
watch the fire? Watch the shapes
I
in the
love watching it.
flames.
If you
Yeah.
watch into like, if you watch like actually, so for fires, all the heat, especially like a campfire, is concentrated at the bottom, and if you put like a little stick right into the bottom, it burns up right away because
Mm.
it's so hot there, and you can see
Mm.
the coals all burning. And I love to watch, and hear and listen for the crackling
Mm.
and all that kind of stuff. So that's another way. And I only do that once in a while, but when I do it, I'm dialed in.
Yeah.
I really am, man. It allows me to self reflect and to, yeah, it opens up my awareness even
Mm.
more.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really rewarding. At least it is for me.
I like to do that
And
with sort of thing with candles. I like to look at
yeah, same.
candles and watch the movement of the flame as just
Yep,
how it moves.
yep.
Same with
I
you
just
as
made a
well,
video of that the other day.
with music as well. Music is and play music, and I also like you know nature and the walking and getting out and about is always a good thing. But I also like to almost bring an element of awareness into like housework or cleaning and dusting and whatever going
Interesting.
on. Yeah.
That's an excellent point, Ian. I do the exact same thing. I
Hmm.
have to really be in the mood for it, though. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah,
But when I am, I'm like, I'll clean everything. Oh,
yeah.
cutting the lawn. What? Cutting the lawn. I actually have a pretty big lawn here, a pretty big property, and there's quite a bit to cut. I mean, it's not enough for like tractor wise. You just use a lawnmower, but
Mm,
I love to look at and admire afterwards the lines that are in the lawn,
yeah.
and I love just seeing it get cut and it looking nice and neat. And it's almost like the idea of, oh, this I've considered this idea. So actually, what a professional stone balancer that I reached out to on Instagram, he actually sells, I believe, little Zen gardens, he calls them,
Right.
and they have that fine sand
Mm.
It's not like sand that you'll find on a beach. It's like it's very fine, and I think it's been processed, to some extent, and
Yeah.
cleaned. And you get a little rake, and then he's got little. See, he does crystals sometimes. I don't know. I would go to that extreme, but I would start very small and kind of you rake it a little bit. It's about this big or so, and not very wide, and just simply doing that every single day and
Mm.
cleaning up. I think in Japan they have actual like Zen gardens. I believe it's Japan
Yeah.
that they have like big rakes and they're huge gardens,
Mm.
and they have a lot of rock like stones in there and stuff, and little like waterfalls or like fountains, and you know that's something that I'm considering as well.
Mm.
um, Definitely.
Yeah.
And being more open to I'm also open to you know us trying something, even on here, if you would be open to that.
Mm.
That would be excellent, because I first of all, I love learning new things, but also I believe that that's just another tool in the tool belt. That's
Mm.
how I refer to it,
Yeah.
especially with
Yeah.
healing. We're all looking for, if we really want to heal, and we are healing, we're looking for more tools in our tool belt to be able to
Yeah.
pull out and use whenever we need to use it. And um, yeah, I'm totally open with all that stuff.
Yeah. Awesome.
Whereas I wasn't before. Years ago, I wouldn't even have had a conversation like this, actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll probably, whoever comes across this path, will probably always be, they will be the same. I was exactly the
Right,
same before I started. I was just like, when someone mentioned to me about meditation, to help with my mental health, I never thought about it, never thought I would ever be that person, and then finding the benefits of it in a very short space of time, of how it gave me such clarity and such awareness to where I was, who I was, and how I could help myself. It was just like, wow, bingo, and
right.
that just totally changed everything in life, in my life. So,
So now that you just said that, I remember you saying that in that video that you did about spirituality, and I actually didn't even know that, but I'm you know so happy that that worked for you and has worked for you. I
mm,
mean, and that was you pulling a tool out of a tool out of your tool belt,
yeah,
because you needed it at that time,
yeah,
clearly.
yeah,
And look what it's done for you. Look where you're at now, man. I mean, you
exactly.
know,
It's just,
that's phenomenal.
mm, it's just
So
amazing how it can change um, the way the way we perceive everything from ourselves
yeah,
out over, it just changes everything. And
it
for the
does.
better, but some people don't want to, obviously some people don't want to look at that. They don't want to look within, they don't want to do the healing, but that's on the spiritual path. That's it's their journey to just do that, and that's their
Right,
life. And in another life, if you want to talk about, if people go into past lives and future lives and different existences and incarnations or whatever, that's their time to learn in that in another life.
right.
So yeah, it's all about healing and going through these various processes that we all go through and learning.
Definitely,
So
definitely.
anyway, we better go because we've been chatting for
Yeah,
like nearly an hour. So
great, great. It's been a great conversation, Ian. It really has.
always is lovely to chat
Pleasure,
with you,
man.
Brian. So yes, I shall let you go. Thanks everybody for tuning in and for watching. I will link our channels below, so you can click over it. If it's on my channel, you can go and head over to Bryan's channel and subscribe to his channel as well, and have a look at all the different wonderful videos of balancing stones and whatever that's over there, and the different videos he's got. And I'll also link
Absolutely.
the video that you watched about being spiritual. I'll link that below as
Yes.
well, so people can have a look at that and see what we've been discussing today, and to make
Yes,
sense.
I will link it. I will link it as well on my channel. Your video that
Yeah,
we were referring to.
yeah. So yeah, so until the next time, do take care of yourselves.
Yes, you
You
too.
take care of yourself, Bri, and I'll speak to you soon.
Sounds great, Ian. Take care, buddy. Bye
Bye.
bye.